Hi everyone, my name is Becc, and today we are going to talk about peace. So as a natural channel or conduit for other energies and beings, I don't really know what they're going to say just yet, but what I do is channeling is essentially a merging of two consciousnesses. It can be done where one party, the part that is the channel, almost completely removes their consciousness from the body, or it can be done where we are shared, and that is called conscious channeling, and that's the difference between conscious channeling and trance channeling. I am a conscious channel, so when I communicate, my guides can come in and they can come close to me. Sometimes that will end up just in a telepathy, a stream of energy that I hear and translate, or they may come fully within me. And whichever that is, it just depends on how I'm feeling on that day and what they want to do and da da da. And I'm not too fussed, so I just allow it to be. But anyway, so right now, my nose is itchy. But I know that my guides would like to talk about peace today, and I'm going to listen for a moment and tune into that. Okay, so my guides would like everyone to know an important message for all people at this time. Peace is not something to be found outside of you. Peace is something to be found from within and all around you by mastering the alchemy of harmonization with your higher self or soul. This takes practice and willingness to appreciate what peace and its opposites, the emotions and distortions, can offer you. They come together. These qualities that you seek, tranquility and peace and quiet and all of these things, they are something to be, I'm just listening. One is not greater than the other. That is what we must understand if we want to achieve peace on this planet. It is that, see, now I'm listening to my guide, and he's very, very close, so he may pop back in. We as people have been looking for peace by fixing the outside or external situations. And see, I'm kind of translating what he's saying as well. However, this will, he says, it will be moot. It will be unachievable in this way. What we want to do is to allow our experience, our life experience, to guide us and set forth the path for us. This means we must come into harmony and with tranquility itself. Understanding that tranquility, peace, all of these things are already substances or essences that are within you. These are things that are already you. It is about aligning yourself to them. We could say making space for them, however, we understand that many humans basically make that mean a push down, a suppression, and this is unhelpful. Although there may be a spacious quality, this is not what is meant by that. When we want to experience peace, it is about aligning to that higher self aspect and then allowing them to take over. It involves surrender. Surrender is an important part, and peace cannot come without this. Peace cannot come without surrendering to your higher nature. And it is unfortunate that many humans have become disconnected from this higher nature by means of doubting and mistrusting themselves in here. This is a natural occurrence that occurs on planets such as these, where the dynamics that are at play are a push or pull, are back and forth, are one and the same at the same time. It is duality. It is the nature of duality that these things are really coming together to actually create something new and align to peace. This planet is really a place of experiencing and divulging into the lower densities in order to experience and re-know the higher aspects of your being, where such things as peace exist. The important thing, what my guides are saying that they're noticing in the sort of collective world at this time, is the search for peace outside of ourselves. And I see like these visuals of like, it's kind of a metaphor and kind of real, of like planet Earth from like space view, and all the people are crawling along the surface trying to fix everything and make it better. And this aligns to like planet healing itself, and also your inner healing and everything that you feel is in the way of peace. This is kind of what we've been like. It is grasping and trying and fixing, and this is actually really unhelpful. What we need to come into alignment with is that peace and tranquility, harmony, healing are all already here. It is the difference between the perspective or vibration you are holding, that which you choose to hold, my guides add. We have to understand that it is a choice. This is something that we do, and we have to make it a habit. We have to unlearn the habits of tuning away from that, and relearn the habits of tuning to that. And then you will be surprised to find, my guides are continuing, you will be surprised to find what is inside of you already. All of the magic and the wonder and the peace that you are. It is all already here. Your external situations are not creating anything new. These are distortions that are already within you and are here to give birth or rising to your awareness that something is, what's that word? I'm trying to pick it up with the translation. Something is amiss. Something is out of alignment. It is incongruent. And your being is really trying to use that situation to find that piece of itself again and come into alignment. But as long as you keep focusing on the external situation, trying to shift and change it, without acknowledging that my guides are saying that there's a true denial of the acknowledgement that what you are doing is not working, that is involved in the push away of peace and this notion of external like fixing instead of internal work. We are in a true denial. You like to be able to do that, you have to shut down your eyes to see that, like, to not see that what you're doing is not working, that as much as you try, it is not working. And so my guides want us to take responsibility and ownership for that. It can be as simple as acknowledgement. It doesn't have to mean, when I say things like that, often people go into a trail of like, oh, I'm bad and like I shouldn't have, and a self-shame thing begins. But I mean, I understand that, and it's okay that you are doing this thing of being like an external fixer person. It is so ingrained in the human consciousness, but the point is, my guides are saying for today, is that we are awakening to that habit, and we are awakening to transforming it. And it is one step at a time. Peace can be found when you align yourself to what already is. That goes for external and internal. So what that is talking about, and the visuals or energy that I'm receiving right now regarding that, is like, internally, if I have an emotional experience and I don't want that emotion and I try to get rid of it or push it away, I am creating divide and non-union with my soul in that moment. Not because my soul is gone, but because I'm so focused on pushing away something that already is. And this is all about what facing what already is, allowing what already is, because really peace is in the acceptance of what is. That's what peace really is. It doesn't mean that the bad things go away. It doesn't mean that that external situation is going to instantly change. It means that you acknowledge that what you've been doing is not going so great, and you step into something greater than yourself. Become involved in the resolution, my guides are saying, that comes from within, that your higher self is trying to drive in that situation. There's another visual. It's almost like it's like a person, and we're looking at that situation that's really upsetting us, and we're trying to fix and fix and fix, and we're not even seeing that that inner self is here, like, hey, like, let's talk, and don't worry about that, just come here. That's really my guides are laughing now. Oh my gosh, it's so funny when they laugh, but that's what they're doing. Like, that's what they're doing to you constantly. That's why they're laughing. They're like, it's so like that kind of vibration. Oh, and their laughter feels so warm. Oh, it's a nice feeling when your guides are laughing. It's so warm, and it's just about, it's not at us, it's at the play of life. The play of life, the quagmires that we get into. That's what they're saying. I don't normally use the word quagmire because I think that's a really weird word, and I think about that guy from Family Guy, and I'm like, oh my god, gross. But there you go. Quagmire. That's what we're doing here. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep listening for a minute. Yeah, so my guides are continuing that the journey to that level of acceptance, self-acceptance, or accepting an external situation, it's a process in and of itself, and we understand this is what they are saying. It's one thing to say, I accept all that is already, I accept this situation, because I'm speaking as a human. You don't. It fucking sucks. Like, right now it sucks that my nose keeps getting itchy whenever I do videos. And it's just like, how do we do that? How do we step into this allowing or accepting nature of what is? And really, you need to be, in my experience, you have to be very committed to finding that within yourself. And there's a certain element of like faith or trust that it is going to be there for you within you. And I know that that's so hard when you're totally in the situation or in your emotion that you want to get rid of. I'm going to do a separate conversation about how to let go, and which means how to surrender and how to actually accept things. And that will be a very human point of view one to help you with that stickiness. Because I totally understand. That's been my journey, is to try to find acceptance in the wake of immense, intense disharmony and suffering due to my traumatic childhood that was very extensive and extreme and can leave a person quite shattered. It means that there is disharmony within, but that difficulty means that I've like figured some of it out. I say some because there's always more that I'm learning, and I'm still in this with you. But yeah, so it is about allowing what is within and without, and no longer reaching and grasping for changing that external situation or the internal emotion, both of which it is about stop trying to change something that already is. It is already here, it has already happened. This doesn't mean like futility or giving up in a situation that you can control, where it would be coming from a place of alignment for you to take responsibility for that. But there are many things that we get distressed about that we just simply cannot do nothing about. Again, I'm saying that visual of the earth because I think my guides want to take it back to the greater message, which is like, humans, we are trying to fix our planet. This is a way that we're viewing the planet even as well. and our world like the concept of your world, the concept of the world in society, our view of that at the moment is very distorted. There's very like a helplessness and a powerlessness. And again, bringing that back to a microcosmic perspective, you may feel that towards your own inner suffering, but also regarding the world and the external suffering. It is really difficult to not feel powerless and helpless at the level of suffering that is here. But that is why we bring it back to within us, and we bring it back to how can I cultivate peace within myself in this moment? How can I cultivate peace for the world in this moment? One piece of things. It does not have to be all about solving it. We need to let go of solving and fixing, because that is the direct oppositional energy to what will actually transform consciousness. And that's what my guides are reiterating for you now. That trying to fix it is a very direct oppositional energy. What we need to come into alignment with is that allowing, and peace is already here. And again, bring it back to that personal experience so I can give you an example. Is like when I have been in really intense emotion, it looks like a blind faith, and it feels like that. It feels like a blind faith, because if you've got that intense war with your emotions, it means that you didn't have enough of experiences of like self-trust or trust in the world and the universe. So it's going to feel like stepping off a fucking ledge, and you're not going to want to do it, and that's what I mean by blind faith. So let's say I'm experiencing some distortion, say like anger, and I've got a war with it because I hate how it feels in my body. I hate how it's like hurting my chest or something. I hate how maybe I have a bad relationship with anger, and I think I'm going to lose control, and it's scary, and I don't want it to be here. Okay, anger is here. You're just acknowledging, like, it's here. Anger is here. And then I may even acknowledge, like, I don't want this to be here right now. Acknowledge, I have resistance to anger. That is here too. Anger is here, and resistance to anger is here. And try your best to observe the war. Try your best to understand. My guides are saying that this will get stronger in time. That you are the looker, you are the seer. You're looking at what's going on inside of you. And if that's the teeniest, tiniest bit you can do that day, that's fine. People think that peace is something that is going to just like spring forth and awaken in a giant personal ascension. Peace and ascension and alignment, all these things, we tend to have quite that sort of imagining of it. It's not, it's a practice. These things are a practice. And another message my guides really think is important is that the way that you are viewing, your viewership of the distortions in the world or within yourself is really affecting your relationship to them, your ability to allow them, and thus your ability to create peace. That viewership is talking about your perception or your relationship to that thing. So if I look at all the suffering in the world and I have a feeling or belief, say that it is wrong, that it is bad, I cannot welcome it into love with open arms. I cannot step into a place of allowing. And that is where it comes back to, again, aligning to your higher consciousness in order to be able to see something sacred within that thing. This wouldn't be happening without a higher development coming on the other end. That's why the bad things are happening, is that they're creating new bright, new light, more opportunity for love. And when you step into allowing that and finally creating that love towards that, again, external and internal, you have like birthed something new in the universe. It's, yeah, I come into my sacred perception, and I just, I might start crying. And that's the beauty of the universe to me. And the thing is that being able to see that, and through experience, I understand that that can feel like quite a high perspective. It only comes through experience, i.e. going through a bad situation and then really noticing like, oh, that actually led me to this really beautiful thing over here. And really taking that on board and that becoming a visceral felt experience for you. I have happened to have enough of those lately that I can step into this and it is real. It is not spiritual bypassing. It is, wow, there's so much beauty here. And that's what when I'm down and I'm in those lower frequencies and I'm in my suffering, that's still difficult. But with practice, that stepping into it, it gets easier and easier. And people can think that means that you are no longer like in appreciation of the hurt or damage that is happening with that internal or external situation. That you're like just saying it's fine. That's not fine. That's not what we're saying. We are acknowledging both parts of what has occurred within or without. That there is a sacred beauty always. That there is something occurring within this and it feels icky. It feels bad. I am not enjoying this experience. I want the world to be better. I want there to be more love here. My guides are saying that that is the sacred union of consciousness that we are currently transitioning into and throughout. People have a current notion at the moment about a fifth dimensional world that we are ascending into. This is truth. And we are in the middle. And that's what we need to be doing right now. And the only way to get there, to that place where you have constant peace or whatever you imagine, is by acknowledging that suffering is perpetuated. Suffering is perpetuated by resisting that suffering, that pain. That is the very essence of suffering. And it's scary because you think that if I allow it, it's all going to stay the same. But it loosens your grip. It allows light awareness to come in. And it allows that sacred alchemy that can barely be put into words. Because you have allowed light to come in. You have allowed that. Essentially, mechanically, the distortion, the unhelpful energy is now able to come up fully and release fully. And in the arms of love, of your consciousness of allowing, it can remember that it is love too. And it is peace. And that is the exquisite nature of peace. And it is your nature. It is.